This is the Women's Hockey Life Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody. Another episode of the WHL Podcast, University Edition. Today, we've got Quinn Johnston from Queen's University. Pretty special guest here today. Excited to have her in her fifth year, majoring in business. She's basically doing it all, crushing it all, and we're excited to have you. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. I'm very excited to get started.
I love it. I love to do intros, but at the same time, I feel like when I let you introduce yourself and kind of a little bit of background about who you are, where you grew up, how you got into hockey, it just always sounds better because it's coming from you, which is the source, you know? So why don't you just dive in, tell our listeners a little bit about yourself?
Yeah. So like you said, I'm Quinn Johnston, originally from Toronto, Ontario, but decided to attend Queen's University for both hockey and the commerce program. And I'm in my fifth year there. I'm a forward on the team currently, and it's going to be my fifth and final year, although I have one more year of eligibility left. I think it's time for me to start a career after this. But I guess kind of going back to the beginning, I started when I was about 3 years old and learned to play. My parents put me in learn to play, and I absolutely hated the practices. I would cry every single time I was put on the ice. And I loved the games, loved the tournaments, but my parents eventually pulled me out. So I stopped playing for a few years. My friend at age, I think we were 6 years old, told me, come play house league. It's so much fun. It's just games. And then one practice, I think a week. And I decided to play again and absolutely loved it. And my career kind of took off from there. I've played pretty much my entire career at the Toronto Leaside Junior Wildcats organization. I moved around 2 years. 1 year in Bantam, I played in Vaughan, and then moved to Etobicoke for midget, and then back to Leaside. So I got my start, and now at Queens. So
you've been a Dolphin, you've been a Wildcat, you've been them all, and now you're at Queens. And even though you can take a sixth year, you're like, I'm good. You did the whole Van Wilder extra year already. You're like, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. I think my body is gonna thank me after. I know that I need a little bit of time off and time away from the game, but I'm sure I'll be playing some sort of pickup hockey with some friends.
In a beer league. You'll be in a beer league someday.
I'm sure I will be. That's the goal.
It is. That's the ultimate end goal. Forget the Olympics or anything else. It's like you want to be that beer league player, right?
The beer league standout. Yeah, that's my hopes and dreams currently. So
well, I can help you with that, and also attest to taking some time off and let your body recuperate, because I'm in my, I don't even know how old I am, mid to late 30s, and my body is like, I feel like I'm 80, you know? So good for you for taking some time and just kind of moving on to the next chapter. Going back to how you ended up at Queens, what was that recruiting process like? Was it a dream school? Was it something that once you visited campus, you fell in love, or talk to me a bit about that?
Yeah, I definitely say Queens was a little bit of a dream school for me. My dad attended Queens University, so often when we were little, we'd take trips up to Kingston and to around the university and the city. So it always had a special place in my heart. And then throughout the recruiting process, I was mostly talking to schools down in the States. And Queens was actually the only school I talked to in Canada, which is, hard to believe. And just through, I think it was basically my campus tour, meeting Matt, who was the coach back then, still the incredible coach. And I just felt at home on the campus. I ended up meeting with a few of the faculties. I ended up meeting with someone from kinesiology and someone from the commerce program. And my dad said that when I met with someone from the commerce program, that my eyes just kind of lit up, and he knew that that was going to be the choice for me, both academically and with hockey. So it kind of came full circle. Like growing up, I always loved Queens because of my dad. My dad actually played volleyball at Queens, so he was also a student athlete. Nice. And now I'm here. So I wouldn't change it for the world. And I'm very, very happy to be there. I would almost take a sixth year if my body wasn't breaking down, but yeah, I love it. I definitely will be visiting back with my kids, hopefully in the future too.
Totally. So you're carrying on the family tradition in a sense, right? Dad's probably super pumped and proud of you.
Yeah.
Mom, I'm sure she is as well, right?
Yeah, I'd say. She went to Waterloo though, so I think there's a little bit of bias there too, but
Maybe she'll, it might be different now once you've graduated. I have no
true.
ties anymore, right? I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that. So if you go back in time and think about your recruiting process, and like you just said, you had a bunch of schools. Well, actually, yeah, Queens was the only one in Canada, but you had a ton of US interest. Looking back, is there anything that you know now that you basically wish you had known while you were going through the process that you can help enlighten those who are going through it?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a few things. Definitely grades are important, but they're not everything. And I think grades are important from, I don't know how young they begin to recruit now, but at least for me, as early as grade 9. So I think just focusing on the studies as much as the hockey is very important. Another thing too is that I wish I enjoyed the process a little bit more and reached out to, yeah, I'm sure that's a common trend.
Yeah,
Just even reached out, yeah. But reached out to even more schools. And I think the most fun for me during the recruitment process was touring different campuses and meeting new coaches. So I think maybe just, yeah, enjoying it and staying in the moment as well. I think everyone is rushing to make that decision. And you're always comparing yourself with your peers too. So I think just setting your own timeline and making the right decision for you. I obviously am very happy with the decision I made, but I think I even could have taken more time, but
yeah. And for you with the decision, obviously talking to schools, states, Canada, one side, yes, but like, what was the deciding factor for you? Like, what was it well, you already talked about being on the campus and it felt right, like that intuitive feeling of just like love, I'm going to say, I'm putting words in your mouth.
yeah,
Versus,
no, that's totally accurate.
yeah, versus like the more logical side of the brain of, okay, well, do they offer the major I have, which is important, yes, and you check that off, but like kind of those pros cons list, what was it for you?
Yeah, so I definitely did do the pros cons list for things academic, hockey program, some small things like dressing room, and just campus feel. But I think ultimately what led me to Queens and what led me to my decision was that if hockey was out of the question, would I be so happy at the school with my choice in faculty and program, and the city, the campus, just the overall atmosphere. I think sometimes if you think about, I think when I was younger, I was focusing on a school for hockey, and injuries are inevitable. You never know what may happen. So I'm very happy that in the end, I chose a school that I knew I would be content at, even if I couldn't be playing the game I loved. So I think that's another big thing throughout the recruitment process as well.
Super insightful. Again, because like when you're young, you're grade 8, grade 9, you're starting to think about it. It's like, I just love hockey. Like the real world doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, wait a second. I got to focus on a career later on. And am I going to be happy here for 4 or 5? You could have done 6, chose not to. That's cool. 4, 5, 6 years. And you obviously made the right choice for you. But I think that's super, super important. And thank you for saying that.
Yeah, of course.
It is the truth, right?
It is. Yeah.
So you've had 5 years of experience of being a student athlete.
Yes.
What, like in your perspective, everything you've gone through, what has been the most challenging parts of being a student athlete? Because you're a student first.
Yeah. Yeah. I know this is a cliche, but the time management, I'll elaborate more and I'll add it something else, but it kind of goes without saying that you have to be very, very organized to be a student athlete. Classes are obviously very, very busy, and so is your schedule with lifts, gym, ice baths, recovery, that sort of thing, and even prioritizing stuff like sleep and nutrition as well. That obviously adds time into your day. So just being really organized. I enjoy being organized, weirdly enough, but I love putting stuff in my journal, making sure that I know exactly what I have on tap for that particular day and that week, and looking ahead even further into the month to see, if maybe this week's going to be really busy and it's an away weekend with games, I'll try and get my work done a little bit before. So I think that's been the most challenging part. But I would also say taking time for myself and taking like proper recovery and rest days. I think it's really challenging when you're caught up in the midst of a season, and everything's pretty much go, go, go. And that's what I love. Like I love being in a fast-paced environment, but I think the pandemic had really helped me take that time and understand that I need time for me sometimes. So I think learning to just take maybe a Sunday afternoon off and sit and watch a movie with my housemates and cook dinner rather than try and go to the gym an extra time because it's an off day and I have the opportunity to. So I think that's a really, really important part about being a student athlete as well.
Your mental health.
Yeah, essentially.
Literally, like what you just said is I'm going to unwind and not worry about everything else that I'm doing the other 6 days of the week.
Yeah.
So important. So important. And it's overlooked because it's something that physically you can't quantify, right? But you can feel it, but you can't quantify it in that sense. So I'm, again, happy you brought that up because that's such an important piece. And just because you're working hard doesn't mean you're being smart about how you work.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah, no, that makes sense. So given everything you've said, and that you may have already answered this question because I think I already know part of the answer, but you've grown up playing the game. And you've already said, like, you like to be organized, you like to be busy, you like structure. What else on top of that has the game taught you about yourself?
About myself, I would say that I just love being around people. I think hockey has made me a very extroverted person and someone who just enjoys being a part of the team. I think also from being a part of various teams, you get to learn about different personalities and how to get along with various people who may have different opinions than you. So I think I've really liked that part of the game and also that challenge. And this year, and I guess last year as well, I've been fortunate enough to be named the captain. So I have that added responsibility too.
No big deal. No big deal. Yeah.
So that's part of my responsibility too. And I absolutely loved it. And I think it's something I'm really passionate about too. So I'd say that, and obviously just being a competitive spirit, I think hockey has taught me that even outside of the sports and outside of the game, I love to be competitive, and hopefully that's something that I'll take on to my future career, whatever that may be. Yeah.
Which leads me kind of into the next question of being the student athlete, business, commerce. If you know, let's fast forward 5 years. Let's have this fortune ball right here. What are you doing in 5 years? In your ideal world, your dream.
Ideal world. Okay. This is big picture now.
Okay,
Now
I just went big on you. We took it to the next level right now. Not what you think you can do based on the major you have and what maybe society wants you to do, but like you, Quinn, what do you want to do?
I would say I definitely do want to work, but I would say I also want to travel a little bit and explore different countries, different cultures. I'm hoping to do a little bit of that this summer, right after I graduate, which would be really nice. But in terms of actual career, not actual career, because traveling it can be a career. I don't know if that's necessarily for me. But since I am in business, I hope something around there. I've worked at Scotiabank the past 2 summers. This past summer, it was in wealth management, and I really, really enjoyed that. So I could see myself doing something along those lines. But ideally, kind of like I alluded to before, it'd be just being a part of some sort of team and working with people, I think would make me most happy. And also, I guess in 5 years too, just finding a different, maybe if it's not hockey, finding a different kind of hobby or activity like running or, I don't know, tennis maybe. My parents used to be marathon runners, and my mom still runs pretty much every day. So I'd want to follow in her footsteps maybe. So we'll see. But
do you like running?
I do like running.
Wow. I don't meet many hockey players who like running. I hate it.
Yeah.
Bike, cool.
I don't know what it is. I think just seeing my mom run every single day when we were younger. My brother and I also used to run competitively when we were younger as well. So I enjoyed that. We'd run to school when we were in elementary school. My mom would carry the backpack. So I think running's been always been part of my life.
It's ingrained in you. Yeah.
It's ingrained in me. But
Totally.
yeah, so maybe, something like that. Maybe run a marathon. That's definitely on my bucket list. So
what I'm hearing is whether it's wealth management, you like teams, you like people, traveling, you're a Virgo, right? September?
yeah, I am.
That makes sense because I'm like, Virgos are generous. They like to help people. They're empathetic. Like, I'm like, that's you to a T.
That's wow. I'm impressed.
Well, I've got some good stalking skills. I was a university coach. I had to stalk the players we were recruiting and like birthdays and that whole other side of zodiac spirituality and everything else. Like I love it. And you can learn a lot about, and you said it already, like what you love about hockey is learning about different people and the way they think and how they operate, right?
Yeah,
So
definitely.
like having that understanding. And I'm like, yeah, everything you just said makes complete sense based on you being a Virgo.
Yeah, it does. I don't know much about that stuff, but I guess now I do. Maybe I'm gonna have to do some more research after this.
Might have to. It's an ever-growing learning experience for me because I always learn something different. But I too I'm a Pisces. I love to talk to people and get to know them, and then just it's like, how can I help? And if I know more about you, then we can do that, right?
Yeah.
But okay, so you said that you and your brother saw your mom running all the time. So you guys ran, you competed, all that stuff. Your brother has had a good career himself, nothing like yours, obviously. Way, but he's with the Dallas Stars, correct?
Yeah, Dallas.
Okay. For you, growing up in Toronto, are you a Leafs fan or a Stars fan now?
If I can say both, I will say both. I have been a Leafs fan my entire life. Obviously, growing up, it's my hometown team. But I do, obviously, I feel inclined to support my brother. And honestly, I think if they were playing each other, I think I would cheer for Dallas.
Was that an exclamation point or a question mark?
Exclamation mark.
How about if you cheer for your brother but root for the Leafs?
That could work. Yeah. If my brother scored a hat trick or something, but the Leafs still won 4-3, I would be okay.
Celebrating on both ends. You win.
Yeah.
You totally win. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's my final answer.
There you go. Now you've got that one rehearsed so you can say that moving forward, all right?
Exactly.
Okay, let's get back to Queens. You guys, your season. Right now, I believe you guys are 6-8 on break right now. You personally are doing very well, almost averaging a point a game. No big deal. No big deal, right? Which is awesome. I got to ask, how are you and the team feeling moving into the second half of the season? Where's the mindset at?
I think I feel like we're really confident going into the second half. I think we know that our best is yet to come. And we've been doing kind of a newish system for our group this year, which has been really, really, really fun and a really good challenge. And I think we're really starting to own it and make it our own. And I think the break came at a good time for us, just to regroup, spend some time away from the rink. It's been an extremely busy first half. I think compared to the past 2 years, it's been a pretty big change for, I know, a lot of us. So I think we're ready. We're excited. We're eager to play. We got a lot of good teams coming up in the second half, and we're excited for the challenge. And I think we do really, really well when we're faced with some top teams in the league. So we're excited. We're confident. We're ready.
Yeah, think you guys are ready. The amount of games that you guys have gone into overtime or shootouts, I literally don't know if I've seen a schedule like that where it's like, I don't know, 6, 7, maybe 8, maybe 9 games have gone to overtime or shootouts for you guys. What's up? You guys just love the excitement, eh?
Yeah, well, we got to make the game entertaining, right? Give fans the bang for their buck.
Totally.
I can't tell you. We're not trying to go to overtime necessarily every game unless we're coming from behind. But yeah, I think it's kind of speaks to our resilience too. When we've been down, and there was a game against U of T this year when we were losing. I want to say the score is going to be, it was maybe 4-0. And we scored
Yes.
4 goals, I think, in the last 6 minutes. They ended up winning. I think, they were up 5-0, I think. And I think we scored 4 goals in the last 6 minutes. So kind of speaks to our character of the team, where we're always in a game. And I think that's why a lot of games have gone into overtime and shootout. But I think this semester, we're also hoping that if we're leading, that we're not going to make it as interesting for the other team, and we'll just keep our foot on the gas a little bit more.
I think Coach Matt would appreciate that. Just gonna put that out there, maybe save him a couple gray hairs or heart attacks. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, I know my parents have mentioned that too, that they're losing. So yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, again, it speaks to the resilience of the team, right? Like, hey, cool, we're from behind, but imagine if we're leading now. No one's going to catch you guys, which is what makes it exciting for me to now follow you guys moving forward of, all right, what's the second half going to look like? Because that's what matters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Second half, playoffs. It's a whole new season when playoffs hit.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we're going to try and get into the playoff mentality early and right away, and hopefully continue that and just build each game. So I'm very excited for second half. I know we've been on break for a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, but I'm already ready to go back. So
funny, right? You're like, okay, when is it? Is it time yet? Is it time? This is too long of a break. Let's go home. Let's go back.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. I love it. Well, I absolutely love you. You're so easy to talk to. I think you have got a great insight. You're very mature. Who knows, if you took a 6th year, you'd be even more mature, but we're not going there. We're not going there. You're gonna get in the real world, maybe go play overseas or something, right?
Yeah, definitely.
At the same time, reach out to me because I can help you with that. But I gotta ask, moving forward, and again, like, we have all different types of people that listen to this podcast. A big following is those who were once in your shoes. You have 2 shoes, not just one. Yeah.
Most of the time, yeah.
Most of the time, yeah, you never know. But if you could give advice to those in high school right now, grade 9, 10, 11, 12, post-grad, whatever it may be, who are chasing their dreams of being where you are today, playing in university, being a student athlete, what advice would you give to them?
Yeah, I think I mentioned a few before, like, in addition to just enjoying it, and I would say just kind of put your head down and grind. I think it's a university can be some of the best times of your life. You gain so much experience, so much knowledge, not only in the textbook, but also like in terms of street smarts and interacting with different people. So I think putting your head down, working as hard as you can, both in the classroom, on the ice, and in the gym, I think you'll set yourself up for success, and you don't want to have any regrets in the process too. So I think that if you put your best foot forward, you'll be happy no matter what, and ultimately can lead you to a really, really awesome experience like I've had the pleasure of having. So
there you go. Quinn, you're amazing. I love you. I can't say enough great things about you. You're stuck with me for life now, because once we connect like this,
I'm okay with that. I'm not complaining.
Yes, put that one in the roster right there. But yeah, no, I again, I'll tag you and your social and anything else if you're on it, in that respect of just being a public figure. Anything we can do to help you, let me know. But I truly appreciate you opening up and talking about you personally, your career, how you grew up, the recruiting process, where you guys are at today, and I'll be rooting for you guys in the second half.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed this and enjoyed meeting you too. And I'm happy that we'll stay connected in the future.
100%. When I have to come to Toronto, I'm staying at your place now. Your parents' house looks great.
It's a spare bedroom, so there you go.
I knew there was a reason. That's my room right there.
Exactly.
Quinn, you're the best. Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Of course, you too. All
All right, take care.
right, you too. Bye.